I mean, I enjoy taking funerals. I think many of the clergy do. I think people say to us, oh, it must be hard to take funerals. In actual fact, I would think the clergy often say it's one of their more enjoyable parts of the week. It's a privilege to hear all about the person's life and meet the family. I mean, that is normally very interesting.
We traditionally are there for the hatched, matched and the dispatched. And if we can help a family or a mourner at the end of their loved one's life, if we can give some sense of closure, some feeling of hope, some joy into what is a really painful situation, then I think we've achieved so much.
Being a deanery funeral champion means that I'm able to relate to my colleagues and inform them of relevant information. It enables me to promote good funeral practice. It enables me to relate well to funeral directors and enhance the relationship between the funeral directors and clergy and lay ministers.
I'm quite interested in going in and visiting funeral directors and reminding them that the clergy do actually exist and that we do turn our hands to a good funeral in the main.
I would ask all clergy being involved in arranging any funeral or celebration of life to really open their ears and clearly hear what a family are asking for.
Really, I want funerals to be better. I think odd times I've been to funerals of family members or friends, perhaps not around this part of the country at all. I've come away feeling often disappointed or even slightly angry, really, with the way they've been taken.
One of the key things I'm learning here, and it has been a learning curve, is how important the relationship is with the funeral directors. They are the gatekeepers. We are merely, from their perspective, contract workers. And if we're not available, they'll find somebody else.
It's incredibly important that the clergy, the funeral trade and the funeral profession work in harmony.
I really wanted to, in my own mind, to make it more than anything about the quality of the services taken.
My commitment is that when anybody comes to a funeral, you never know whether they've been in church before or whether they'll come again, but you need to make it the best possible experience given the circumstances.
I can think of at least 5 people in this church who've come because we've done funerals for them.
When taking the funeral of a child, yes, I will get emotional. I think it's right to get emotional. There are times when I think it's right to express that in a funeral itself, but in a balanced way. But also I think it's right that I take time to express that in my own life. I am a human being as well as being a minister of the church.
Funeral ministry has impacted my personal faith in a very deep way. Not only has it been a real privilege to walk alongside those that have been bereaved, but it's enabled me to see how I can draw on my own faith from that, and it has given me the strength to walk alongside the others. But it's also made me think about how faith is important.
One of the tensions, I think, in funeral ministry is that you want to be real, but you don't want to pull all your own emotions and yourself out. And it's trying to find that balance.
Very early on in my deacon's year, I realised how important funeral ministry is, and also how much God loves everybody, and you could see that in the lives of those who cared for their relatives and friends. They might not ever enter the church except for something like a funeral, but God was there giving them the strength. And if we can make that connection between God's love for the departed and actually God's love for all of us who are gathered for that service, for me that was a really vital part. And I have to say, I really enjoy funeral ministry.